So after a month or so of just kind of taking a break from really trying to heal my heart with some other stuff going on, um, everything that has happened in the last month or so, I have to come out and speak on this, put my personal whatever aside, and appeal to everyone, everyone. It has come to a point in this time where there's so much hate, and it stems from so much confusion and fear. And fear that's being fed. It's being fed by the media. It's being fed by groups that have ulterior motives. And what is resulting is legal death. Legal murders. I'm being too nice about it. Legal murders. Those legal murders are stemming from racial microaggressions, from aversive racism, from white privilege, from inherited racism in the past. And I am sick and tired of people that are oppressed being blamed for their oppression. That is the most hypocritic, the most hypocritic statement and philosophy that white people have, that they can continue to excuse the abuse and the misuse and the mistreatment that happens to Black Americans and Native Americans as well, Asian Americans as well, Latino Americans as well. I put everyone in there because white people have done something to each one of those cultures. The sad thing about the Black American culture is that we totally assimilated, and that's our downfall, but that's what happened, and call it what it is. I digress. When you are sitting in your car reading a book and you die, let me correct that. When you're sitting in your seat and you're reading a book and you are killed, when you have car problems and a cop who is supposed to protect and serve shoots you dead, when you are sitting in your house with your child and a cop comes in the wrong house and kills you, when you are an old woman, older, that have lived your time, and a SWAT team comes in and ransacks your house and kills you, when you are selling a cigarette and you die, you are killed. When you're at a stop sign and you killed. When you're in your car with your hands on the steering wheel in front of your kids and you killed. All of these are legal, by the way. How is one supposed to continue to feel that they are of value, that they matter, that they are being protected and served? I'll wait. Right. It does not happen. And yet, those very same people will quickly say, well, you kill your own people. That's nonsense. Yes, we kill our own people. Don't dispute that. And what you're not taking into account is that we're on top of each other like sardines because you placed us there years ago so that you can condition us, so you can monitor us. So let's keep that real. I'm tired of not discussing the systemic challenges that continue to haunt us to this day. That is the problem. We don't want to think about the fact that in our Constitution that Black people were considered property, that the very same founding fathers, owned slaves. We don't want to think about the people that did the Declaration of Independence, had slaves, and not only had slaves, had sex with slaves, had kids with slaves. We don't want to think about that. We don't want to talk about that, right? We just want to go past that and go to the Emancipation Proclamation. We can do that too, but it really didn't free the slaves. Let's keep it real, because they shouldn't have been in a situation where they freed anyway, because they are human beings. But that's not who they were when they came over here, because white Americans decided that they are less than human beings. Then we can fast forward to the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Okay, we got a little piece of vote, not all, because there are some stipulations that went around with that as well. That's why I had to be revisited, 2 or 3 years ago? I don't even know, not too long ago. So I hear where these other people are coming from, but what these other people need to understand is that they are being hoodwinked and bamboozled to remain silent. They are being led to believe that this is not an epidemic. Okay? They are being led to believe that everything is hunky-dory and apple pie for everyone. Like these kids here, they want everyone to believe that how these kids feel a bliss because they really don't see no color. They really, and I say it like that on purpose, they really don't see no color. They see love. We teach them that because of our cruelty to each other, because of our ignorance, because of our fear, because of our cognitive distortions, because of our mental illnesses, okay? Because racism is a mental illness. No one has wanted to take that and delve in it because psychology is based on white Eurocentric male perspectives pre-World War II. So you don't want to think about the fact that these white men came over here with that foolishness and made a foundation of the schools of thought in psychology that also has trickled down to every facet of American life. We don't want to talk about that. I will, because that's my major and I can, so I will, and that's what I've been tackling with on an academic perspective. So it works with all of us. Everybody has a part to play. Don't get it twisted. But I go back to my original and saying to people who consider themselves allies, I don't hear you. I don't see you. I don't know what you're doing. You may be talking behind closed doors. You may be telling whomever that looks like me that, you're sorry. And honestly, that don't really help. I appreciate it, but that don't really help the matter. We can be sorry until the cows come home, but what are we going to do about it? I'm not hearing any of that. So I guess where I'm coming from is I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe. And no one cares that I don't feel safe. No one cares that a person of color, a black American in particular, a black male, I mean, women get it too. Don't get it twisted. Sandra Bland, Corey, we get, yes, and more of them. Don't please. The other ones that I've forgotten, not charge that to my head and not my heart. So we are asking, we're not asking, that's a lie. We are saying it's to a point now where if you don't speak up, and I mean when I'm saying those people speak up, those quiet, supposedly white allies, when you don't speak up and you don't collectively get together with your resources and all to demand justice, it won't be served. And all I'm saying too, if that be the case, let us know. And at the same time, give me the resource. Give Keyshawn the resources, and I will do everything in my power to get as many of us out of your hair as possible, because it's apparent that you don't want us here. And let the truth be told, we shouldn't want to stay in a place that treats us like this. We really shouldn't. We should be able to go to our government and say, hey, we know that you have us insured. We know that we have about $650,000 per head on us. So we don't want all that back, because we know that you ain't gonna give it all to us. But hey, we want our $65,000. Give me my $65,000 and get all my debt and everything out of your system and let me leave. Give me my passport and let me leave. I don't hear America saying that. But no, you want us to stay here in limbo while you continue to pick us off? What sense does that make? Literally, what sense does that make? So we can make you feel good? So we can make you feel better? I thought we've been doing that for the last 300-400 years. Now, here's the reality of it. Now, some of y'all going to be like, I cannot believe she is saying this. She was always so nice and this, that, and the third. And guess what? I'm still nice. I'm still a loving person. That don't mean that I can't be realistic about it and say, realistically, y'all don't want us here. Y'all let us know how insignificant we are, because you kill us every opportunity you get, and you say it's somehow or another it's our fault. Even though we don't got no gun, we don't have any kind of arms or anything of the sort, it's somehow our fault. So if you're not gonna, if we are not going to collectively say we've had enough, right? Let's get our resources together ourselves and either leave or find some rural land and do our own thing. Go on and release us. Give us our money. Not all of it, because it's not an amount for reparations that will take for all the blood, sweat, and tears and the sacrifice and the monies that you all have made off of our ancestors' backs. Okay, so we're not going to be too much about that. That's priceless. But for me, I know that I can make a few people work with $65,000 for getting out of this country with a visa. Just something to think about, because again, by your actions or your non-actions, y'all are letting us know that we are no longer needed, nor appreciated, nor valued. We are invisible. And if we're invisible, leave us alone, give us our stuff, and let us get out. Thanks.